roll. Was there something fallacious? Sure. Was it a straw man? No.
Right. Yeah, but I think that's the problem. Like if you look at the actual
Samoa, I honestly need to
so then if one person says, "Hey,
$50
that,"
right now.
That person's actually looking
Hey,
at
Nathan.
all of them, right?
Samoa, he heard your words.
Hey,
You had a
Nathan,
chance to
$50 right now, Samoa.
I'm not reading.
Because even if you didn't lose,
Later, right?
you got enough value and entertainment out of this that you owe probably everybody in the room $50. You need to take to give Nathan 50, to give Knowledge 50, to give Mike 25.
I can't even hear.
I think there should be a penalty. I don't think it should be
equivocation, right?
I didn't say that.
You should pay the bank with White House chillers and $50.
The knowledge.
I didn't say that.
Knowledge. I got a question for knowledge.
There you go. Okay, look.
Knowledge. Hold on, I have a question for knowledge. Knowledge. When I wrote in the chat, I said, "Hey, Samoa, you should ask Ethan, since he asked 3 philosophers if it was a straw man or if it was a fallacy." Ethan, were you on stage just about 10, 15 minutes ago?
I'll tell you why Ethan was on stage, because Rich said that right after I made a statement, which was, that's 3 philosophers now that agree with Nathan.
And Ethan was right below him, and I said, "Hey, Samoa, why don't you ask Ethan if it's a fallacy?"
And who thinks his fucking name is Ethan?
I had no fucking idea. You're the one that just doxed me.
No one.
You doxed Samoa by saying his name.
No one.
I had no idea.
Get back to the other point. This is boring.
God, Don. You're an idiot. You doxed him.
No,
So you
Now I know his name's Ethan.
fucking Samoa.
I had no idea. I swear on my kids' lives.
No, you didn't.
I just found out. I literally said, "Hey, Samoa, why don't you ask Ethan if it's a fallacy?"
Did Ethan answer?
No. Because he left.
Okay.
And then Dawn started saying that I was doxing Samoa, even though I never knew Samoa's name was Ethan.
I don't know what his fucking name is.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying his name. I was like, "Damn, you're doxing."
You're a fucking dog.
Okay, it was a mistake.
Okay,
Can we go
yeah,
back?
I just want to know, because I'm worried, Dewey, are your hips okay? Like, is your hip okay? Are you good?
I am going to need 2 or 3 days of stretching, but I'm going to make a recovery.
Proud of you,
You
friends.
open, brother?
Love you.
No, me and my wife, my in-laws took the kids for the weekend, and me and my wife went away for the weekend, and we pretended like we were 20.
If it would please
Wait,
the pepper gods, can I please enter into fisticuffs with Ethan on Catholicism being
Yeah, Dawn, stop drinking.
What country? Okay, one mic. I'm sorry, one mic on country.
I pulled my hammy.
No.
Okay,
The one
yes,
mic on
that's a thruster. You're right.
Ethan, I challenge you to a formal, informal, linguistic, sarcastic debate on the legitimacy of Catholicism and apostolic succession.
Correct. Dewey, if you missed it, everybody's agreeing with Nathan that it wasn't a straw man.
My joke is better, sir.
I've actually been on that tip from the beginning as well.
No pause on the tip, huh? No pause.
Oh my god. Guys,
Hey.
I just had a very heterosexual weekend.
Does not lay with a woman and entertain us.
But can we seriously get over it? I'm fucking over it. Samoa, just let him take. Not acknowledging him will give him the L.
So, it looks like Concrete is trying to.
No, not acknowledge the argument. It's done. He lost.
Yeah.
So
It looks like Concrete is trying to do the conversation.
Yes, I am desirous to engage in intellectual fisticuffs with young Ethan on Catholicism and its many erroneous,
Can you just let me?
dubious
No, Frank. Not right now, Frank.
What I wanted.
No. Okay, so
No.
No, stop it.
Shut up.
Ross.
Shut up, White.
Please.
Shut up, White.
you kidding.
Yes, you should be kidding. Okay, so
Wait, what? Frank kids? What? I thought that was pure Frank.
Yes.
I didn't know he was
You thought he was Poor retard.
I couldn't tell. Like right now. Like we're being recorded right now.
Do it when B-Master's in here.
What are you listening to?
I am listening to a room full of numbskulls here on Clown House, wasting all their time talking about nothing as usual. What are you doing?
But that's what we do.
I know it is supposedly the point, but you know.
You didn't come to my room today.
I was blocked.
Oh shit.
Someone
Did
doesn't.
you try all the other accounts?
Not enough counts anymore. I am so heavily blocked. Some people really want to block me. It's unbelievable.
It was a good room.
Bima called me out in chillism and they keep kicking me from the chillism room. I don't understand. Don't they want publicity for all their high value intelligent information that they're sharing with the public? Welcome, Dr. Bima.
My bad.
You need to
They're
change again all your names.
They're fucking bitches. Yeah, you gotta change the names again. They're fucking little bitches. They're cocksucking bitches. But I support what you do. Keep recording these fucking people. Hold them accountable for shit. Yeah, my bad. But I sorry, I got under fire for people thought that I was recording. So yeah, I had to, I had to do what I had to do. My bad.
Well, you need to open new accounts, Edmund.
I know it's time because he was a warlord mystic and he stole from the Bible and killed a lot of people. Now he's enslaved a billion people with the mind virus.
He's a fucking warlord like Genghis Khan. And you worship a monster.
Everybody who is pretty much a figure of history in ancient medieval time is
But we're going to free them.
or war commander.
Liberaciones. You know, all these religions deal with liberation, and Muhammad is no different, but he did it with the sword and the wand. You know, you don't want to kill too many people as you try to free them, because when you kill them, you don't free them, you kill them.
It's true.
You can't kill the people that you want to free.
He had sex with Maria the cop, who was his. So what?
Well, but they killed him, but they keep reproducing, so...
So what, you think a concubine was like, oh, I don't want to engage in sexual activity?
I'm sure they had so much choice in the matter.
Feliz cumpleaños, Isa!
Understand, like, being a concubine.
Oh, thank you.
No, it was a slave, bro. She was a slave.
Happy birthday to Isa. Happy birthday to Isa. Happy birthday, dear Isa. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
What's your clubhouse boyfriend's first name? What's your clubhouse boyfriend's first name? What's your boyfriend's first name on Clown House right now?
Do you want to know my Clown House boyfriend's name now?
Sí, señorita. ¿Qué es tu nombre de tu boyfriend?
I cannot say. It's Edmund.
Ooh!
Theologies have brought about an expansion that
I think I might be spoken for.
China to Morocco. That's who I'm talking about, who brought legal law and brought clear standards that we apply today, like a jury.
Jurisprudence. Welcome back to the Islamic Jurisprudence Show starring Cynic, the laptop repairman.
You don't know how influential this one was.
What's the name of their room?
It's called Being Qua Being.
I'm so jealous of him.
We brought in
I'm not jealous.
you're dealing with a man who ushered in the first scientific era.
He was a genius of science.
Fuck, you think you can hold a match?
He invented the microscope and discovered DNA, as well as atomic physics. He was the best moralist, the best comedian. He was the best at everything. God bless Muhammad, he was the best. The number one guy of all time. He ushered in the world of science, my friends.
Not just science.
Intelligence. Like all the Muslims are so smart. They all are highly intelligent people. They use the Quran to increase their IQ to become super geniuses on Earth so they can build things like war engines.
We actually have the only theology that can actually withstand modern times, criticism and science, and philosophy.
Isa, welcome to the room. Bing Kwa Bing with Dr. Cynic, who is a Mohammedan. He loves Muhammad and the Quran, the glorious Quran.
As it progressed and it went through the industrial age and the Enlightenment age.
Welcome to the Islamic Caliphate room, Isa.
Because Christianity is not compatible.
Why are you not following me, Hot Muslim?
Oh, Isa. I was like, he just played a recording of you.
Did you get kicked again?
Kicked? You mean
Banned.
my account?
He doesn't have a party hat. This is like the longest one ever. He's been here 31 days. Congratulations, Dr. Cynic, on getting out from party hat status.
Yep. And I'll still be better known than you, comedian, on this app.
That's projection.
That is absolutely true.
That's just projection.
Who the fuck is a toxic comedian?
No, he's gonna be on the do not fly list. That's not the kind of notoriety you want, you stupid moron.
Maybe call me back for fucking.
And then people drop comedian or kick him out. Usually he doesn't even last on stage 10 seconds.
Unlike you, until you fucking, cook off.
Comedian doesn't even have anything to say.
He got to kill people on terrorist raid operations conducted from Islamic. And it is spelled E-N-E-R-G-Y. Energy. Enter the universe. Energy. That's what energy means in English. Enter the universe. Enter the universe now through the energy of the words. Use the words to enter the energy of the universe. How many languages do you even speak? I speak like 7 languages. You don't even speak 3 languages. I speak 10 languages. How many languages do you even speak? I speak 10 languages, and you think I'm stupid. How many languages do you speak?
Now I'm invested. I want to see how this will end.
You want to see how this will end? You want to see how this will end?
Cynic is gonna crash out eventually because he doesn't read books. He just talks all the time. Cynic is gonna crash out because he never reads a book. He just runs his mouth all the time. I speak 10 languages. You don't even speak 3.
Reconfigures himself.
He speaks Arabic and English.
And Spanish and German and Hebrew and Arabic and Russian. I speak a lot of languages, Cynic. I'm a pretty smart guy because I read these things called books, which are programs sitting on a shelf.
Guys, let's have peace, right?
Peace right now. There's no such thing as the past, and there's no such thing as the future. There's only this thing called the now. And Dr. Cynic, he gets in his fucking time machine and goes back to 1655 and thinks he's Muhammad again. Now it's 2025. There's no such thing. It's called a time machine, Dr. Cynic.
You don't even know the shit that you claim you've been reading.
There's no such thing as a time machine. Just these things called books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ribono Shaloyla, master of the universe. Who is the master of the universe?
Alright, I forgot.
Hello?
I get you back.
Anyways, it's...
You're going crazy.
Why? It's my comedy hour. What are you talking about? I'm here to roast them.
Because when you speak over other people, they don't hear you.
I know, but I don't want to... I don't really... Lisa, the point is, I want to get back to doing what I gotta do, which is go sit in the sun and enjoy my afternoon. I don't want to sit here and talk to Cynic. I wanted to get kicked from the room 20 minutes ago. But these mods are sleeping because they've been on the app all night.
No, I'm here.
Oh, Usama's still here. He's enjoying the humor. See, some people like the comedy.
Yeah, these
microphone on this room is better because here we can talk over each other and I can still hear you, but the other one is horrible.
Yeah. You know.
Because when you're speaking over other
What do you
people,
mean?
we
Why
cannot
would I
hear
do
words.
this? I'm teaching people English here, and I'm teaching people how to get in control of their emotions. Most people are just road raging on this app. I'm the mirror that they cast their hate and their anger into. This is how this app works. It's a projection app, and Cynic is one of the worst projectionists on the app. His projection's terrible. It's all pessimistic and cynical. He goes by the name Cynic. He's a negative person. Listen, the point is most people are dealing with anxiety and depression on this app, and I'm here to help liberate them from their bad ideas. They come here to project nothing but bad ideas all the time.
How are you going to liberate them?
By being a mirror and showing them how neurotic they can become. That's the whole point. It's like a Zen training school. It's a psyop. It's essentially how angry can I make you to prove how neurotic and emotional you are. Why are you even entertaining the conversation if you're getting angry? You are the problem. That's the point. This is like a training simulator.
That's true.
At least you are here for something.
That's my purpose, is to try to make you angry. I'm a comedian troll. I mean, but I have a point, which is to try to liberate you from yourself. Most people are just infected with a mind virus
How
called
many
personality.
people have you liberated?
I don't know, probably like a couple million. It only takes one shot, you know? All you got to do is see the light reflecting from my bald head once. Okay, assalamu alaikum. See, that's, you know,
Let's bring
peace.
Cynic here now.
Peace be upon you. Okay, let's ping him out.
You probably take better care of it, bro. Okay, let me just tell you something. So,
Bring him in. Tell him to come.
Canadian in Alberta.
He had a French last name.
The father. I'm talking about the adopted father.
Yeah, he had a French last name, but I don't think he's Quebecois or French.
Got it. Okay, thank you so much. Because from his name, I thought he's definitely French Quebecan or something.
What?
This is a room called Live Canada Votes 2025.
Okay, thank you. So what do you think of? So which one does Trump?
Simon's in the room. Andre's in the room. Go in
It's
that
hard to
room.
say. I mean,
It's called the middle. The house is called the middle. No, the house is called the middle. It's Live Canada Votes 2025. The Canadians.
He referred to Mark Carney. Trump referred to Mark Carney as Prime Minister, and Mark, and he said, "I love Canada. Mark's a great guy," and all this stuff. So, and then he was saying some negative things about Polyev as well. So,
liberals would be the Democrat. It's not. You don't view it that way, right? It's not a easy.
No.
Liberals would be the Democrat. It's not. You don't view it that way, right? It's not a easy comparison.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So let's go through the chat a little bit more. Welcome, comedian. So Simon's saying, let's hope PPC. I guess he means the Conservative Party of Canada wins some seats. The Liberals are probably going to win. Yes, that's sort of the sentiment here, is that the Liberals are going to win a minority or majority government, but there might be this sort of silent conservative swell out there, because turnout is huge. We're looking, we might get north of 70% voter participation here, so it's kind of an all-time high for modern politics, which is great. Andre's got a question. Hold on. Ahmed says most of the people who would have voted PPC are voting conservative. Best way to not get your voice heard and let down your favorite party. Okay, Andre, in terms of projection, is that a good or bad thing for liberals, conservatives? I think that might be in regard to the, I don't know what that was in regard to, but right now, both the polling-wise, the conservatives and the liberals are both about the same points up from where they were in the last federal elections.
To the divine.
Go ahead, Andre.
Sorry, I'll just clarify. I really don't care what they
song that the races into this
liberal concentration.
in a world of
Both. Okay, so the fact that it is a contest between liberals and conservatives, then usually it's one liberal. Is it a good or bad sign for either of those parties?
I see. So in Montreal, the Conservatives are nowhere. So it's a fight between the NDP, the Bloc, and the Liberals. And I think we were talking about Metro Toronto, sort of suburban Toronto. If the Liberals are breaking through some of these swing ridings, then it's a very good sign that the Liberals are on course for a majority, minority or majority, more likely a majority Liberal government. So some of those Metro Toronto ridings are going to be really critical. Most of the seats here are going to be, Metro Montreal, Metro Toronto, Metro Vancouver. And if Metro Toronto is going Liberal, Metro Vancouver is probably going Liberal heavily as well. So we'll be able to get a good sense of what's going on here.
Well, when you say,
thanks. Yeah, go ahead, comedian.
I mean, when you're how do you value or judge yourself in terms of your own projection with regards to Canadian politics?
How do I value myself in my projections? In terms of my accuracy?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah, I think so. I think I got a good sense of it. I've worked in federal politics.
I mean, doesn't that essentially say then you're good at prophecy?
Yeah, I'm a prophet. My crystal ball is strong.
I mean, that's what analysis is. I mean, unless it's hindsight bias. So the question is back to projection. I mean, how much are you projecting and how much of that projection is accurate?
We'll only know how accurate it is with the results, but I would say that I nailed the electoral college in the United States. I nailed it precisely. I also thought Trump would win the popular vote, and I was pretty close in the French election as well when we did a room on that last year, and the UK election. So I've been pretty.
Do you think Canada has been overwhelmed by alien migrant invasion?
Sorry, who?
Do you think Canada has been overwhelmed by illegal migration or legal migration? Are you happy with all the Muslims and Asians in your country?
I think Canada is not equipped to currently take in 500,000 to 1 million people per year, which was what the Liberals had set up, and then did a 180 on late last year. We don't have enough houses. We have had the lowest housing starts in the OECD in the last 20 years. And there's a housing crisis, and houses are generally unaffordable in Canada. So on that front, no. Culturally speaking, yeah, I think so. I think Canada actually is probably best equipped to accommodate a wide diversity of different peoples from different places. Europeans have attempted to adopt this Canadian multicultural model, which has been the official policy of Canada since the early 70s. But where I think we have maybe an advantage is that we're a young country and a young culture, save the First Nations. And so we don't have a lot of deep entrenched cultural norms and values that the Europeans do. I mean, they have a hard time with each other, let alone people outside of the continent. And the United States is a bit different too, because I think the U.S. is more of a melting pot model where people, there's set expectations of identity. And so people are the idea is for people to absorb into that identity when they come to the United States. Where in Canada, the multicultural model, it's that the Canadian identity is informed by outsiders, that we encourage people to bring their cultures to Canada, and that the Canadian culture kind of morphs and molds to those different cultures, and the identity evolves over time. Hey, Isa. Hello. How's Switzerland?
Better than Canada.
Come on. It's at the casinos. I went to Davos, and I went to the casino expecting a Dr. No opening.
But when did you come to Davos?
I was last time I was in Davos, it was 2016, but I'm gonna try to get out there again this year. Zerafest and spend some time in Bern and all that. Yeah, I will. Yeah, there's a few people in Switzerland I'd like to meet.
We can go to CERN together and do satanic rituals.
Yes, exactly. I'm looking forward to taking part in the next round of rituals in Davos. So I'll introduce you to George Soros, and yeah, we'll have a great time drinking children's blood. Yeah, it'll be wonderful. And I could get to see your shapeshifter side, that's the lizard side. That'll be great.
You will.
Beautiful.
So, what time do you guys plan on having results?
Well, we actually have some results coming in Newfoundland, close to the top of the hour, Newfoundland and Labrador. So here we go. We got some results here. The riding in Newfoundland we're looking at, there's two ridings we're looking at. One is St. John's East, to see how badly the NDP are doing. It's a good bellwether there because they did hold that seat. They were competitive in 2015, lost by 2 points. Took it by 14 points in 2019 and then lost it by 12 points in 2021. But the NDP are collapsing, so St. John's East is a good indication of how weak the NDP vote is. And then the other one, which is is a riding that's flipped Liberal to Conservative and back again, or flipped Conservative in 2021, and it was a 1% loss in 2019 is Central Newfoundland. And so, if we're seeing a strength there for the Conservatives, this may be an indication that the silent Conservatives is real, and that the big voter turnout is a vote for change rather than a vote to vote Liberal to stop Trump. Because there's two narratives running about why, what a big turnout means, and it's either one or the other, or maybe a mix of the two. But yeah.
The thing with Canadian Parliament, or however you call it, is that you don't necessarily need a clean majority, right? You need to have the most votes.
Canada is a country, the real country, actually country, okay? But here in Clubhouse, sometimes the people can say lies and they don't know about the nationality, okay?
Okay,
it's
what's your
very
point?
important, okay?
Quickly. Yeah, quickly, Mute King, just quickly, go to the point first, and then we'll decide whether or not we want to listen to the
You could understand, okay? Adam, Mr. Adam.
All right. Anyways, Dreamer, welcome to the stage.
Oh, thank you, Adam. And today is the decision date, and I am an immigrant, but I love Canada, and I am kind of patriotic, and especially after Trump talking about becoming 51st state. So I want to actually keep Canada great. So I don't want to be part of United States because I want to keep Canada great, and I want to buy Canadian goods and services, not Americans. And so I don't vote Conservatives because Pierre Poilievre is kind of like a Trump puppet, is kind of mini Trump, and he doesn't want to keep Canada great. Actually, he wants to keep America great, make America great. So he didn't talk about buying Canadian, avoiding American goods and services, and that's what Trump actually telling Americans to buy domestic products, but he doesn't talk about that, interestingly. So it's kind of copying Trump, but acting like a puppet, not real, actually patriotic. Yeah, that's what
and thanks, Streamer, for that. I think a few things. First, you're obviously Canadian because when you said I'm feeling kind of patriotic. That's like one of the most Canadian things someone can say. And I think your sentiment around Poilievre and the concern about Trump is a dominant issue that has overwhelmed this election, and I think the sentiment may be the critical that sentiment may be the critical mass of the electorate, and that's what the Liberals are hoping for. And if what your perspective comes to be, what voters are thinking, we will see a Liberal minority or majority, and I think that you can thank Trump for that. I will just note, Poilievre did say today in response to Trump's trolling of Canada on Truth Social, Poilievre said, quote, "President Trump, stay out of our election. The only people who decide the future of Canada are Canadians at the ballot box," end quote. And goes on, and that Canada will never become the 51st state, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but yeah, no, I think that sense that Poilievre was appeasing Trump, he certainly was flat-footed in response. Take advantage of that, and I think a lot of people think like you do, Dreamer, so you're in good company there. Thank you for those thoughts, and look forward to more comments as we move on. Going on there, welcome. Hey, Gio's in the crowd.
Is Canada a failed state?
Sorry, just a second. Ordinary. That's an interesting comment you made about you either vote Liberal or NDP. It sounds like you haven't voted yet. Be curious to know where. You don't have to be very specific, but which city you're in, and have you? Yeah, I'd be interested to see like what kind of decision making you have there, because that's actually a really important factor for whether the Liberals form government here. Is how many NDPers vote Liberal this time. So go ahead, comedian.
Yeah, I was just asking, is Canada a failed state?
You're asking. You're asking. Nice. Oh, man, comedian, you're funny. You're funny, man. Sorry, is Canada the 51st state? It is not the 51st state.
No, I was asking if it's a failed state. And thanks for confirming that I'm funny, because a lot of my YouTube audience says I'm not funny and I'm a bald loser.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you're funny and I'm bald, but not a loser. Is it a failed state? Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's there yet, but we're on a trajectory that's very, to use a cringe word, problematic. The leader of the Bloc Québécois called Canada an artificial country this weekend, which caused a big brouhaha. So yeah, we're on the brink, though. There's some big problems that are structural in nature for Canada, there's a lot of pressure. There's this sort of underlying balkanization issue. I think Gio made mention of this. You have Quebec, who's always looking to separate, or a lot of people in Quebec looking to separate from Canada, and then you also have a lot of Western alienation, especially in Saskatchewan and Alberta. And these people vote heavily conservative. If we end up with a Liberal majority, there is going to be, I think, a burgeoning Western separatist movement. I don't think it's like critical mass or anything like this, but I think there's going to be a lot more concerns and
just what's wrong with Canadians? I mean, why is the government so crazy and so neurotic and wasting all their time and energy and resources on liberal politics? I mean, where did they go wrong?
Well, the people are like this to an extent.
I mean, imagine if Elon Musk came to Canada and he's like, "Hey, I want to invest $10 billion here and build some new infrastructure." Canada would be like, "Get out of Canada! Get out of here!" They're crazy. They got derangement syndromes.
Well, yes, and but also Musk was in Canada. I think he spent a little bit of high school and went to college in Canada, just like the failed Democratic candidate Harris. She went to college in Canada and high school in Canada as well, so they share that in common. But yeah, Musk has a Canadian passport. He is a Canadian citizen. He came to Canada before he went to the United States.
Okay, so listen to these statistics. George W. Bush issued 200 pardons. Barack Obama issued 2,000 pardons. Donald Trump issued 237 pardons. And Joe Biden issued 8,064 pardons.
Okay. Right on. Ordinary, you're in Edmonton. Okay, interesting. You're in Edmonton. Edmonton that's a tough choice, man. Because the NDP, depending on where in Edmonton you are, the NDP hold, I think they hold 2 seats currently in Edmonton. And there's one of those seats is more, man, yeah, that's a tough one, brother. That's a tough one. Coin flip. Even though the Liberals have Edmonton Center as well, so I would lean to. Man, it depends where you are. If you're in Edmonton Center, if you're just not voting Conservative, I would vote Liberal. In the around University of Alberta, I would I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you there. It's kind of hard to say because the question is how much of a collapse is the NDP experiencing, right? So yeah, good luck to you there. It's a tough choice. I think and it's interesting this sort of last minute NDP voters choosing Liberal or vice versa. If there's enough confusion, that could help the Conservatives because it splits the non-conservative votes. But generally, I think people are moving towards the Liberals, right? They're abandoning the NDP and they're going to the Liberals because they think the Liberals are the best bet. So I would probably advise you to vote Liberal if you want to stop the Conservatives, right? So yeah, we'll get some more numbers. The numbers are starting to come in more here. I'm just having a quick cigarette. People are welcome to join the stage. We got it's going to be a really exciting election here. We got some early votes coming out of the east, out of Newfoundland and the Maritimes. And there's some ridings we're looking at in particular in each province that are good bellwethers as to where things are going. If we're just waiting for more votes to get a better sense as to where things are at, because like in the United States, Canada has a pretty major rural-urban divide, and so the rural parts of the riding will be voting Conservative, and the urban parts will be voting NDP and Liberal, mostly Liberal. And this is, sometimes the polls will be coming in the rural parts, and so it looks like the Conservatives are way ahead, but once the urban votes come in, then suddenly everything changes. So we're going to wait just a little bit.